week, Bert blasts off in the Honda Fireblade. Sirish puts his foot down in the new Skoda Laura TSI. And General Motors is bankrupt. What does it mean for the company's brands and its customers and vendors in India? Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I'm Shireen Bhan. After years of importing bikes individually and then running around to get service support and spares, 2008 was a watershed year for biking enthusiasts. Yamaha, Ducati and Suzuki all brought in their high-end superbikes into India, including the Suzuki Hayabusa, which you saw right here on Overdrive. And it promises to get even more exciting, and that's because Honda is joining the party with its naked 1000R and the 1000RR Fireblade. Bert hits the heels on the Fireblade to get you a first TV exclusive.
If you own a unicorn and are looking for an upgrade, you like Honda's legacy, their heritage, their products, their quality, the technology and the service here in India, well, you could start off by selling your unicorn. That would roughly earn you about 50,000 rupees. And then you need to save about 13.5 lakh rupees, because that is going to allow you to buy this, the Honda CBR 1000RR Fireblade.
The Fireblade is no ordinary motorcycle. It was spawned by Honda's incessant rivalry against Kawasaki, Suzuki and Yamaha, all of who had outstanding leader class sports bikes back in the early 80s. Iconic motorcycle designer Tadao Baba penned the lines of the first CBR 900RR, and at the time it broke new ground in terms of handling and performance. Over the years, the Fireblade has grown larger and got more refined, and now in its latest guise is finally here in India.
At first sight, the CBR isn't a spectacular motorcycle. It's not going to make you go wow when you see it first. But then, this is a motorcycle that grows on you, and in no time you're going to appreciate its strong character and personality.
However, it isn't the styling that is impressive on this bike. What makes headlines is the all-new combined ABS system. The first of its kind on any bike in the world. While highly effective, especially at high speeds, there is little feedback from the lever, which makes the brakes feel wooden. What you expect to feel is a slight pulse in the levers as the ABS kicks in. However, what you get is a smooth braking pressure. Deceptive? Yes. Ineffective? Absolutely not. Braking figures, in fact, are comparative to what you get in a high-performance sports car. Apart from the ABS, the new CBR also sports a slipper clutch, similar to the ones used in Honda's MotoGP motorcycles. And then there's the new 999cc 4-cylinder inline engine.
Not only is the CBR's engine incredibly refined, but when you twist the tab, there's a tidal wave of power that comes and swamps everything in its sight. But the most amazing part about this bike is that she's so comfortable to ride around in the city. You can just slip her into 6th gear, keep her at 45 to 50 kilometers per hour and just spot her around comfortably.
This leader class engine makes 178 horsepower, beginning at around 12,000 RPM and about 110 Newton meters of max torque at about 8,500 RPM. A new enlarged cylinder block with a larger bore configuration, titanium valves and a remapped ECU that delivers two different maps to juggle between a sporty or relaxed character are the highlights of this engine. This is a motorcycle you could do upwards of 300 kilometers per hour in the blink of an eye. We managed around 290 before we ran out of road, and yet you could also cruise down Main Street at 30 kilometers per hour very comfortably. For long, however, CBR fans did not take kindly to the bike getting more docile. So, Honda pared down the weight by using a lighter and narrower die-cast frame.
The loss of weight results in better agility, But then quite frankly, I haven't ridden the old CBR, so I really can't comment on the handling. But then what I can tell you for sure is that the CBR 1000RR has got fantastic ride quality. He soaks in all kinds of bumps and is very stable and confident across all kinds of surfaces.
I quite like this bike. Much like Suzuki's Hayabusa, which blends aggressive speeds with well-balanced and cultured road behavior, the CBR2 mixes all-round performance with highly refined manners. So,
I'm only going to say this once more. Sell your Unicorn and start saving now, or go rob that bank right now, or find a girl rich enough to marry right away, because the CBR 1000RR is the super bike you always wished you had.
Well, it's good to know that despite combating the global recession, most bike manufacturers are bringing their high-end bikes into India. But elsewhere, the recession has claimed another high-profile victim. This time, it is General Motors, which has filed for bankruptcy protection in America. What does this really mean for its iconic brands? What does it mean for customers and its vendors, specifically in India? Team Overdrive puts it together for you.
Iconic brands like Cadillac, Chevrolet and Hummer, 77 years as the #1 automaker in the world, and now the third largest bankruptcy in history. 100 years after William C. Durant founded the company, General Motors will now be owned by the US government and hopes to be reborn as a leaner, meaner and more innovative car maker of the future.
General Motors is open for business. We're there for the sale of cars and trucks, the financing of cars and trucks, the servicing and the warranty for cars and trucks. Customers can feel very confident if they want to buy a GM car or truck that we'll be able to service the vehicle, they get warranty. So we're extremely confident. We're open for business.
Shutters will go down on 17 factories and parts centers across the United States, and as many as 20,000 employees could lose their jobs by 2011. Hummer, the iconic all-American brand, will now have a Chinese owner. The massive four-wheel drive gas guzzlers were a symbol of what was going wrong at GM. Gas-guzzling SUVs and trucks rolling off production lines for a public that had already turned to cleaner, more efficient and high-tech cars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2007 Chevrolet Volt concept.
Chevrolet, Cadillac and Buick are brands that will continue on, and Chevrolet has made a start in the right direction with models like the electric Volt. For the rest of the world though, the story is a little bit different. The company's European brands Opel and Vauxhall have already been sold to the Magma Group, while closer to home GM India's chief says it's business as usual.
The new organization, the reinvented GM, now has a very strong structure with a very key supporter in the US government. And then of course it was very clearly mentioned that the operations of General Motors in India are not included in the filing, and then that our business plans remain on track. So our consumers, both the ones who currently hold the General Motors vehicles and those that are looking to purchase now and in the future, can feel very confident about the support that they'll get from Chevrolet here in India. So our product launches, our expansion plans and our localization as we continue to grow the Indian enterprise are well on track.
The LPG variant of the Spark will join the Optra, Yuva and Captiva in Indian showrooms. With good discounts on offer and a new print and TV ad campaign on the anvil, GM India is going all out to retain existing customers and keep its cars on top of would-be buyers' wish lists.
Well, GM will have a lot of hope vested in the new Spark, which should hit India later this year. Sirish, in fact, saw the new Spark at the Geneva Motor Show and came away impressed, and you can bet that we'll bring you the first comprehensive road test of the Spark when it finally hits India. On that note, a quick commercial break, but before we go, here's a look at all the action from the world of motorsport.
After winning his last race and locking up pole position, Yamaha's Jorge Lorenzo was looking to win his third race of the season at the Italian round of the MotoGP World Championship. But instead, it was a home win for Ducati at Mugello, as Casey Stoner took a hard-fought win ahead of the Spaniard, who had to be satisfied with second. Valentino Rossi, winner of 6 straight Italian GPs, could only manage third in his Yamaha, while Repsol Honda's Italian rider Andreas Dovizioso took fourth ahead of another Italian, Suzuki's Loris Capirossi. Meanwhile, Honda's Dani Pedrosa crashed out of the race in lap 14 and had to be stretchered away from trackside. The new season of the Asian Pacific Rally Championship is underway, but the global economic slowdown has taken its toll on the series. Round 1 at New Caledonia saw only 3 APRC cars entering the event, which was called off after 2 straight days of thunderstorms. There was a lot more action at Round 2 in Queensland as the two-team MRF Evos piloted by Katsu Taguchi and Gaurav Gill went all out for podium finishes. The Japanese driver finished second behind Aussie Cody Crocker, while Gaurav Gill saw a puncture and subsequent suspension failure rob him of third place on the final stage. India's only APRC race winner, however, still managed to take fourth place after making it back to the service park.